Centering, squashing. I could have done the centering a bit better. I'll have another go. It's Sunday morning and I'm taking the time to fix a tiny little problem with the Niki, which is a tiny little stone chip right there. Now I've put my hand over it, or my fingers over it, and it seems to be definitely an impact on the windshield that hasn't been repaired. I did find one on the Land Rover Discovery, but it had already been fixed. I was reliably told, and then I could feel it once they told me what to feel for. You can feel the repair in the actual hole. So after watching a very helpful video from Motoring Box, I have bought some windshield repair kit, and I'll be doing firstly the Niki and then a windscreen repair on the Mighty Boy. So let's get stuck into it. I've opened the packet up, and the first step is to put this suction cup holder over the affected area, centering the impact point over the middle. So that means that this thing will go around about there. Take two. Oh yes, that is centered. Now it's time to screw this applicator into the middle of that suction cup ring and have the end of it touching the windscreen at the actual point of contact, which is why you want to make sure that it all lines up. So we will screw that in until it is touching the windscreen. Now the instructions do say to double check that you've got it happily lined up from inside the car. So let's have a little look. And it definitely is on that point. Right, the pressure driver that will push the mixture into the windscreen has been taken out of the chamber, and now I have to use the razor blade to cut the top off the resin so I can put a couple of drops. It says to put 3 to 6 drops into there, and then hopefully it shouldn't dribble out the bottom. It should dribble straight into the crack, or the bullseye I should say. Cracks are a different set of instructions on the back. Okay, here we go. 3 to 6 drops into the chamber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The cap on that. It's not dribbling, it is staying put. So now put this in to force everything in there. And then check inside to make sure everything looks like it's reaching the trouble point. Well, yes, there is liquid being applied there. The contact of the tube is a bit skinnier than the outside of the bullseye, but hopefully the material will spread along that tiny crack anyway. Just taking this off the windscreen so we can see the results, and there is liquid there, and there's a bit draining away, which I'll get with a rag now. And now I need to put a piece of this plastic seal with some a drop of stuff on it over the top of the lot to cure it. Okay, the apparatus is off the windscreen and the curing strip is on it, and I've added a couple extra drops there just to fill in the surrounding cracks, and it will need a bit of tidying up once it's cured, but now I need to put it in the sun, as UV light apparently does the work. So I better go and get the keys. Who am I kidding? This is a tiny car. I can just push it out into the sun with my foot. Pushing. There we go. When I touch that, I can definitely feel it's been filled in. Right, well that's looking a lot better. It is, the stuff has sealed the hole in the windscreen and hasn't made it disappear, but has improved how it feels to the touch, so that's something. And now it's time to look after this car, which has one right there. Now this home windshield repair kit system has a little bit of a problem with this one, in that the Bullseye is a bit too far to the edge of the windscreen, so I can't put the suction cups on the glass, which will mean that I'm not forcing the liquid in there as much as I would. Right, so what I'm going to do is still push this in. The right hand side is securely in, it's just that the left hand side isn't. But if I screw all that in and then hold it against the windscreen for 4 minutes, I'll get a sore hand, but maybe I can encourage that stuff to get into the crack where it's needed. And it has leaked a little bit of liquid down there because it's not sitting flush. I better get that now too with my trusty school sock rag. That's the time. So I have held this in place for 4 minutes, and now I'll unscrew the fitting and screw it back in again to let out any air that may be trapped in there. And then after that it should be pretty much ready for the curing strip. So let's try that now. I've taken the frame off and put on one of these curing strips, in fact the same one I used earlier, just flipped it over onto the other side, and now it's time to see whether UV will make this work despite the dodgy way it was done. So I've got to roll this into the light. Thankfully the sun's coming in at the end of the garage, so I'll just roll the car down to the end without accidentally going through the garage door and hitting the Niki. So there we go, we'll see if that does the job. It's looking good. Just need to wait 10 minutes for it to cure in the sun. In the meantime, I better get all this out of the sun. Well, it's been more than 10 minutes, so let's peel off this tape. And it comes off with a bit of a unsealing noise, and now it's a matter of of just scraping off residue at 90 degrees apparently. Once again, some minor evidence of it, but overall a tiny little hole has been filled. So that's not bad for a few dollars for the kit.